Well, hello, and welcome to an introductory video on Excel. I hope that you'll consider getting to know how to use Excel and use it as a problem-solving tool and a great way to communicate with others who you work with. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'd like to cover is, well, let's just say what is Excel? And then I'm going to try to explain why I suggest you consider using Excel. A common concept is what's in it for me? Why should I invest a little effort in learning how to use Excel a little better? And then finally, this is an introductory video, and so I'm going to try to give you an idea of what are some topics that I'm going to want to cover in subsequent little short videos and some tips on how to use Excel effectively. Well, what is Excel in the first place? And here's a little screenshot of the Excel screen. And what is it? Well, it's a software platform that's produced by Microsoft, very widely available. If you are issued a PC at your workplace, there's a good chance that Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and Word will be loaded onto that computer as part of what you're provided with to do your job. Excel is also a blank slate. So this is a little bit of a screenshot of Excel when you just turn it on and that's it. It's just a blank slate for you to work with. However, if you get a little better at it, it becomes a powerful problem-solving tool. And also, it can be used as a collaborative communication tool with those who you work with or those who you report to, or if you're a student, a way to communicate what you're doing with professors. It's my claim that Excel is limited only by your imagination, creativity, and skill level, both in whatever you're good at, whatever your major is, whatever your trade is, whatever your practice is, and also the skill level in getting better and better at Excel. I got to tell you that even at my advanced age, I continue to get better at Excel because I try to pick up little tricks of the trade from others whom I work with. Okay, and so why use Excel anyway? So here's sort of a claim that I'd like to make and have you think about it. One is going to improve your problem-solving ability, and it can improve your ability to communicate with others, particularly those who you work with or report to or serve on a team with. And if you add these two categories together, what you get is effectiveness. You get effectiveness as an engineer or whatever your practice is. Now, I'm not trying to sell you totally on Excel. And so look, if you're already using some type of problem-solving platform, I think that's terrific. If you find another platform that's just as effective for you in problem solving and communicating, then use that platform. Okay, so I'm not trying to suggest that Excel is the way to solve problems. It is a way to solve problems and a way to get more and more effective in your work. Okay, so you think, well, what's in it for me? Why should I invest a little effort in getting better Excel? Well, the little hot air balloon here is intended to suggest the sky's the limit. So the more and more work you put into it, the more you work with Excel, the better you're going to get. Well, the sky's the limit. So as you become a more and more effective person, as you increase your effectiveness, what kind of things would you expect to get as a result of improved effectiveness? Here's a little list that I came up with. Improved compensation. And who doesn't like to get paid more for the same amount of work? Okay. Increased responsibilities. I've got to tell you that the more effective I became in my work, the more responsibilities I was given. And that was good because then that brought on more compensation. Also, the more effective of a person you are, the better assignments you receive. Nearly all of us are employees. Okay, very few are entrepreneurs and are your own bosses. So you're going to get better assignments as you improve your effectiveness. You'll be recognized as a contributor to whatever organization you work with, and this is going to open up opportunities for you to lead others, leadership opportunities as you become more and more effective. I put in another little screenshot of a quote from Isaac Newton, and it says, if I've seen further over the horizon, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants. And that is so true. I didn't invent these tips and tricks on Excel. I didn't do it simply by looking at videos or looking at tips or help. I I stood on the shoulders of giants by listening to my coworkers, listening to others, and trying to absorb really cool tips that other people have shown me on how to get better and better in Excel. So none of this information is my own unique trick. It is simply really my looking and standing on the shoulders of others who've come before me. So here are some ideas that I have on creating some videos, and I'm going to try to build on this introductory video. So here's what you're looking at right now, why Excel and the roadmap. And here's some other introductory topics that I have planned to create. These are under construction. Here's something that's existing, and you can click on this link on this slide. So if you download the static slides here, you can click on this link and you can download an Excel file where I have posted 16 worked out examples for commonly used things that are available right out of the box in Excel. All you have to do is you have to have an application. Oh, I've got a little problem I want to solve. I think I'll use Excel. I'll explore how might I get that done. And this one Excel file that's got over 16 tabs in it will help you explore how to get better and better at Excel. So I'm going to try to create videos for all of these. But for right now, you can download this Excel file and explore on your own. Some advanced topics I have in mind, still under construction. These are going to be a ways down the line. And so I'd like to show you an example problem of what's ahead. So my suggestion is you can gain the ability to lead and persuade others by using Excel as a problem-solving communication tool. And you can gain the ability to make complex things look simple. Okay, and so here's my prompt to go live in Excel. So I'm gonna try to do that. Let's see. I'm going to try to get out of PowerPoint. I'm out of PowerPoint. Okay, minimize, and I'm going to bring up an Excel file. So I am now in Excel, and I don't want to teach you every little detail. I want to show you the big picture of a worked out problem that I did at work before I retired. I was serving on a cost reduction team where I was working in a manufacturing environment. And a question that came up time and time again from our managers is, how much power does it take to compress air? How much does it cost to compress air? Because in our manufacturing facility, we used a lot of compressed air. Somewhere we wasted compressed air. We could reduce. And so it was a common question of, what if we could reduce our compressed air usage by fill in the blank, 200 CFM, 400 CFM? How much money could we save over the year? So what I did as a team member was I set out to show and calculate and give others a tool that they could answer that question on their own without being mechanical engineers. And so let me try to drag you through this one page. This is a simple Excel file. Let's see, let's look at the bottom of the page. Notice here I've got two tabs. So I'm just going to show you the one tab called Basic Calcs, okay? And I'm going to try to work through, show you what my solution looked like so I could send this Excel file to others and say, you can goof around with some input data that you will find in the yellow cells that I've colored yellow, and you can get your answer right there on the spot without me having to do any calculations and give you an answer. So let me show you how I do this. First thing, here's a title. So I title in larger font what the title of my little problem is, which we just covered. I tried to include a screenshot of, well, I started with a sketch of the engineering problem associated with compressing air, a temperature entropy diagram. For those of you mechanical engineers, you're going to, oh, yeah, I recognize this. I recognize this sketch. Okay. And then, of course, here's a photograph of a basically industrial grade air compressor that's on a trailer, pretty large scale Ingersoll Rand compressor. What I've done is I've started out with my given information in yellow boxes. Notice here how I'm kind of explaining what I'm doing more than just putting numbers. Do you see? So for example, here is, well, let's pick this. 1,000 SCFM, standard cubic feet per minute. Okay. And so not only am I putting a number, I'm saying what it is. Okay. And then you can see I'm going on down the page. This box is a introductory box where I do some basic early engineering calculations. Those of you in mechanical engineering will, you'll see what I'm doing. Okay. And then I went to a next box. And you see, I'm trying to sort of title what I'm doing as I'm going along. I'm working down the page, okay? And I'm calculating if I compress the air, what's the actual outlet temperature of the air given a certain compressor efficiency. You don't need to know the details of that if you're not an engineer, but you can see how I'm organizing my problem. Then I'm coming in and saying, once we have that outlet temperature, we can use some engineering fundamentals to calculate the power, the horsepower or kilowatts associated with how much it costs in power to drive this compressor. And that's going to cost us money, isn't it? So I can dial in, the user or I can dial in, here's a yellow box, 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So I'm putting in the number 10 against electric price in cents per kilowatt hour. Okay. Straight mathematical calculation in Excel. So for the amount of cubic feet per minute I'm looking at, the operating cost is $18.48 per hour to run this air compressor. That's a lot of CFM, but 1848 that's a lot per hour, isn't it? Especially when you consider running this for a year, what would the cost be? And again, I run through, well, I've got 24 hours per day, and I'm going to say I'm going to run this compressor 24 hours a day for 355 days per year, taking 10 days off for maintenance. And I come out to see that the average monthly cost to run my compressor is $13,000. Okay, so anyway, you didn't need to absorb how to solve this problem, but do you see that it's sort of a start to finish problem that's commonly asked? It was commonly asked in my workplace. And not only did it enable me to solve the technical problem once, it enables other team members to go in and use this Excel file to answer their own questions simply by changing some input data. Okay, now let's see. I've got to figure it. So that is a little bit of a whole larger picture of what Excel can do for you. Okay. I'm going to have to admit that I didn't start out being this good at problem solving and visualization. I got better and better at it. My original Excel files were very clunky, not pretty, but I got better and better at it. Okay, let me go back to PowerPoint if I can figure out how to do that. So I'm going to click on PowerPoint and I'm going to start my slideshow. We just looked at this live, okay? You can download this Excel file by clicking on this link if you wish to possess that file. It's not protected. a plain old Excel file, you can own this file on your own by just clicking that link and downloading the Excel file. Also, if you're interested in the background behind the problem, you can download a PowerPoint slide that describes how do you determine how much it costs to compress air. Okay, and then finally, just to show you some of my own work that I offered, it's work that I did both working in industry and then preparing notes and example problems for students in classes. You can go to my Jay's Toolbox website and you can download lots and lots of fully worked out Excel problems that address mostly engineering associated problems. Oh, and here's a engineering economics category that would be economics, some basic math, et cetera, et cetera. And you can browse those and you can possess those Excel files. And that's another beauty of Excel is that if your team members have Excel on their computer, and they will, then you can send them files that you have worked on. And if they're good, if they're standalone enough, then they can bootstrap, that they can leverage the work that you have already done. And that's the beauty of teamwork. And that's part of the beauty of working in Excel, because so many people that are not just engineers, there's lots of business majors use Excel all the time. Scientists, mathematicians, all types of professions are good at using Excel throughout the entire employment scheme. In fact, I know a good number of hourly employees who simply by going to high school and perhaps community college, they got proficient at using Excel as well. So that's your intro. I hope that I've given you some encouragement to learn a little bit more about Excel, work with Excel to get better and better, explain your work, work down the page, and that's going to help you to improve your problem solving and communication effectiveness.